that he's done for locals out here. Yeah,
That's cool.
so that was pretty neat. They had a little kind of a commemorative table of his stuff there.
Mhm.
I
That's
heard
all.
that I ran into some people that live in Seguin that I met in Alpine, because that's how it goes out there. At the Spirits of the West Fest a couple years ago, I met them and ran into one of the girls the other day in Seguin, and she was saying that they're doing a Spirits of the East Fest now, and they're going to have it up in Fort Worth.
That would be great.
Interesting.
And then they're going to also split the Lone Star Poacher Gathering. I'm like, I don't know. I'm interested to watch how that works because sometimes the sequel is never as good as the original. But
Hey, us East Texas people need a little love too.
well, to me, Spirits of the West is very West, right? So I'm like, I'm trying to think about how you duplicate something like that. But I guess you just get your own, local
Mhm.
music and distilleries and wineries and that kind of thing together. So I don't know if they're trying to make it like an event company where they just create events and move it around. I don't know. Anyway, to be determined. I'll find out more on that. But my buddies I've met in Alpine, they're going to do the Spirits of the East too. I'll let you know when that is because it's a good time in Alpine. So good morning, everyone. I hope y'all had a good weekend. Today, I was going to talk about how to grow your digital footprint and connect all the different moving parts and pieces from your digital footprint and do a digital audit on yourself, or I can do one for you too, or ask a friend or family member to do it. Has anybody Googled themselves recently? So I don't suggest doing it from your own computer, but this weekend I text a couple of you guys and said, hey, I'm going to call you from your Google profile because I wanted to see if that would up the analytics. And so far, I haven't seen any like big jump by one phone call. But the other day I mentioned to map yourself through your Google profile. So another thing is when your partner or friend wants to call you, say, hey, every 10th time you call me, will you put up my Google profile and call me? And so I was talking to Leanne about it. And when I Googled her, instead of just putting Leanne Bailey to get her Google profile, I put best realtor Fredericksburg, Texas, Leanne Bailey. And what I'm trying to do is add what they call long tail words that will hopefully start showing Google that she's like a viable, searchable thing and kind of push her profile up to the top. So if you have friends or family that you can just say, hey, call me through my Google profile, that would be fantastic. I know when you run Google ads and someone calls you through your Google profile, there's a charge attached to it, but having somebody just go to your Google profile and hit call there's no like charge or anything like that. And it will just show up as the person's phone number that's calling you. It won't show up as a Google or spam or anything like that. Some of the third-party platforms like scramble people's numbers, but so that's one little SEO hack that we're going to see if we can't get some increased engagement. I also updated our agent roster over the weekend, and I'm going to share that with the group, but just please keep this all internal. Don't send the list to your Cutco knife salesman or anything like that. But what I did is I went and added everybody's Google profile to the agent roster so that we can help each other grow. Another way to grow your digital footprint is to ask questions through your Google profile. So like this is the agent roster. I don't have everybody's Google profile, but if you scroll all the way over here, you're going to see you can just click and these are the Google profile that I have. So if y'all have like an hour that you're not doing anything and you want to help each other grow, you could just click each other's Google profile and then ask a question. When you ask questions on your Google profile, again, that shows you're more of like an authoritative expert in your industry, and those are also searchable. So what I did, and I'll share it in our group after, is I just Googled top 10 questions like home buyers need to know, top questions sellers are asking about real estate. And then we can have those questions on your Google profile. And then that's going to help your digital footprint grow as well, because more people are going to find you that way. I know we worked on that probably about 6 to 8 months ago, but would like to circle back around to that as well. I personally don't have a Google profile, so it's kind of a wonky thing for me to try to teach. But I can go to our brokerage page. Hold please. Let's see. Ah. We'll just pick anybody's. Let's see. Maybe. Or my internet's going to be weird. Okay. Annabelle is the top of the list, so she gets the winning prize. So when you're in your Google profile, you can just go here to ask a question. And then you can just type, what are the top 5 things I need to do if I'm looking to buy? You're going to want somebody else to ask this, but you can also ask and answer your own questions. From what I've read, that's also a good way to get additional engagement. So for Google, that's what I would say right now are the top 3 things I'd like for you guys to work on, and just also continue to post to your Google profile. They like to see consistency. They like to see that you're showing up on Google and that you're providing consistent information. We'll circle back around on Thursday where all of you guys can have your Google profile pulled up, and we will get to working on that also to build out the product section and the different features that you can do where you can add your blogs and different things like that. If you're here and you just want to add a post, it's just like Facebook, really. You just click here for add post. This looks small, but it's actually 1,500 characters. And so you can use ChatGPT, however you want to post it. And then you can click here for add more details in the button. If you're not going to share a blog and you're just going to share a post about your hometown or whatever that is, hit call now, because we want the phone to ring, right? That's the end goal, is to always get our phone to ring. So you're going to want to click call now, and then you hit post. It's super simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it. And then I'd say the 4th thing too is we want to build the reviews. The more reviews you have, the higher up the search engine your profile will appear. You'll see Annabelle has 7 reviews, which is fantastic. Usually over 5 is when you can start running ads and become a Google like preferred profile where you can start running ads and sign up for their local service ads as well. So if any of you guys want to schedule time with me this week to specifically work on your page or get a schedule on how you can add to your Google available for you, just anytime you post to Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere that's real estate related, just add it to your checklist to post to Google. And it's really easy to do from your phone. You just go to your Google Maps app and you can add posts very easily from there. Have any of you guys been dedicated on your Google profile to be posting? I know I looked at Leanne's the other day and she has some really good analytics on hers.
I've been trying to post a blog every single day or every other day.
Nice. And I like Google too, because you can check your analytics. And for some reason that makes my brain see like, oh, wow, the things you're doing are actually working. It's like Leanne has 1,200 views right now between April and September. If y'all want to do a contest, y'all know I like a good competition. I know, Lauren, you and Leanne were neck and neck for a while. Let's see. I know we can't control Google too much. Okay, we're gonna get you up there. We're on it. And then you can go to calls, and it shows that 5 people have actually called through your profile, which is fantastic. That's a really good number. So check to see where you are now, and then just kind of using some of these little Google hacks. Let's see if we can't be found more easily that way. Also, have any of you guys been posting to your LinkedIn profile lately?
I think Tiffany's been doing that.
I did a couple posts for the brokerage just for recruiting and spreading our name out there the last couple days, and when I looked at my profile, one little ad through LinkedIn, I want to say had 17,000 impressions, which I thought was pretty awesome. I think it was this one. Look at that good looking group out there. So that would be something too to think about, especially if you have higher end luxury listings. Lauren, I think you're listing there on Cinder, like there 17,000 impressions, and that was just a small ad through Google. To me, sorry, not Google, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is usually seen as a higher authority by Google. So when you're posting to LinkedIn, that's also going to help your SEO to be found. If you have somebody Google yourself, usually it's your brokerage website, probably like Sabor, your MLS that you belong to, and then LinkedIn is usually your third before Facebook if you're active on LinkedIn. Y'all know I like LinkedIn, but think about the clientele that's on there. If you have a luxury listing, just try running an ad on LinkedIn and see what kind of results you get. Obviously, have a call to action and make it where you're getting engagement. But I would think investing a little bit more time in LinkedIn is another great way you can grow your digital footprint. And there's no like drama really on LinkedIn, which I also like. And you can just see where people are moving jobs or changing jobs or whatever that is. Has anybody else run ads on LinkedIn before? Spend 10 or 20 bucks and just boost one of your, like post your listing with your brokerage link on there, your agent website listing link, and just see if you can track more analytics that way. I think it'd be a good exercise. There's so much presence on Facebook and Instagram for ads for real estate. I think it'd be interesting to look and see what you can do on LinkedIn. I would think like your higher end land and ranch listings, waterfront, luxury, maybe a listing that you haven't gotten traction doing ads other places. I think you get a good bang for your buck on LinkedIn. Also, it's really easy to add people on LinkedIn. I read something one time, I saw it online, so it has to be true, right? That if you have over 5,000 followers on LinkedIn, that you're more likely to hit your sales goals. And for some reason, that just imprinted in my brain. And so it took me a long time to hit over 5,000, but try to grow your LinkedIn followers. I think it'd be a really good investment of your time, and it's easy to do while you're sitting watching football or whatever that might be. So I know we've talked about this a bunch of times, but going back to LinkedIn, it's like, who's your ideal client? And while I know we've all y'all gotten leads through TikTok and Instagram and Facebook that I've heard, I think our ideal client as a brokerage is on LinkedIn. It's usually a higher net worth client. They're more business minded, like your investors, your commercial clients. Their platform is going to be LinkedIn more so than others. A lot of people who aren't on other platforms do have a LinkedIn profile. So that's something else to consider. Something else we've talked about also while we're talking about growing our digital footprint is Pinterest. Go ahead and create a Pinterest account. You don't really have to do anything with that, but we'll be circling back around and talking about how we can use Pinterest for lead generation. Usually, if I want to redecorate my house or pick a paint color or think about updating anything in my house, Pinterest is usually where I go first. So having a footprint there would be another checkbox I would love each of you guys to do. Like Jarvis, I think Pinterest would be good too for your bit and spur business, because it's eye-catching. All your pictures like stop the scroll, and people search by topic, and your content doesn't get dated. So you could post something 6 years ago and still get leads through Pinterest. Does anybody have questions on LinkedIn? And everybody knows how to add more people, I think, on LinkedIn as well. Y'all know I like to stalk people, so you can just type in like Air Force Captain and then you can hit people, and then you can put by location if you wanted to. And then you could just start connecting. So if you're trying to grow like your military sphere, or you have a listing that might be somebody from the military, I know like our New Braunfels market, Bernie, Lavernia, there's a lot of military relocations. People are going to be stationed at Randolph or stationed at different local bases in San Antonio, and they're going to look in those outlying areas that are still close to military healthcare. So definitely add some, especially Air Force in San Antonio with Randolph being there. But you can literally just start connecting to people that way. If you used to work at USAA, or you used to be a school teacher, or you want to get in front of more ranchers, you can actually just type in rancher and do the same thing and hit people. So that's a really easy way to grow. Some platforms are really hard to grow just to add followers, but LinkedIn makes it pretty easy. Also, if you've had a past sale with somebody and it went really smoothly, I know Tiffany has done some relocations in the past at her past brokerage. They had a relocation department. So let's say that you've done one for somebody relocating through HEB. You can go HEB and do human resources and just connect with people by department, by company, because maybe that person's already heard your name mentioned in conversation from the person that got relocated. So that's another good way that you can add to your sphere that way. And then again, once you run ads, it's going to be marketed to people, to your followers first, and then it's going to push it out. And so that's another great way to keep growing that way. Have any of you guys had kind of leads or hits through digital media lately that might be good for the team to share or learn from? I know Lauren and some of you, Kristen, y'all are really great at sharing to groups. When you have a listing, you can also go back to old posts on Facebook and share to all your little local groups there. And that helps get outside of your own followers. So definitely recommend doing that. And then YouTube is also, I would love for each of you guys to create your own YouTube channel. If you don't have YouTube, let me know and we'll get that set up. It's pretty easy. We'll get the banners and all that created for you. So I know when you signed up to do real estate, you probably didn't think you were going to also be your own marketing and social media director, but it's really important right now with the market and with so many other realtors in the industry that we do all the things and check all the boxes so that we can stand out, and that not only do our sellers get the best marketing, but that we're able to market ourselves for the next sale. Do y'all have any questions on anything or ideas? Let me stop sharing my screen.
Lisa, is there any data on Pinterest as far as like other agents using it and it being a success? Or is it just a platform to get people to your website?
Both. I don't know real estate stats, but my buddy was a manager of a restaurant a couple years ago, and I asked him, I was like, how do people know that you're here? And he said the number one reason people walk in this door is Pinterest. And it blew my mind because I didn't really think about that. But if I'm going to look for a recipe, I'll usually go to Pinterest. And he said what they would do is post a lot of food pics, like vibrant, great quality pictures. And then people would click it and then they would see, oh, this is available at the happy hour. So they would go for happy hour. Same thing with Pinterest. I think the pictures that you post to Pinterest are very different. They're going to be like a close-up of a backsplash or a faucet or a really cool door or fireplace mantle, right? And then when they click it, it can go to your blog. It can go to a listing. So when you get some listing photography taken, think about doing some small detail shots too that you have in your drive that you can then use to for Pinterest as well. I know that Pinterest, 1 in 6 people that are on Pinterest buy through Pinterest. Obviously, buying a happy hour appetizer is different than buying a house, but I like that the stats show that people still buy through the app. That I want to say I used to know the stat for Pinterest, but there's a lot of users on Pinterest. And I like that too, you can post something from a few years ago and they call it an evergreen platform where your content doesn't get dated. And you can go back from, as soon as y'all got into real estate and post stuff from when you started. It doesn't have to be like current, but again, link it to your blogs and attach that link to it as well. I would say try even like with your ladies group that you've been doing, post some of your recipes and then like post it to your real estate blog. You could talk about, creating a legacy and how your grandmother created a legacy within you to, make your kitchen a warm, inviting place that people gather, and then click that to a blog. Well, now they're in your real estate website, but it makes sense because it's all connected. Some of the blogs that you've done on your closings would be great to attach to Pinterest too. And if you do oh, go ahead.
I did Pinterest for a little bit, but I didn't track it, so that's why I was asking.
Yeah, and there's a business Pinterest and there's a personal Pinterest. The business one, you can track analytics, which we like because then you can see.
Yeah, I think you'd brought it up in the past, so I went and did a business one based off of like using my primary account, and then it did the business portion of it.
I think Pinterest would be another good place to put local market content, like get a cup of coffee at your local favorite coffee shop, right? And then attach it to your blog that you did on like why to move to Livonia, that kind of stuff. And it's a slow play. It's not like they're going to post something on Pinterest and the phone's going to ring the same day, but it's just another way where you can show that you're a market expert and a true professional in the business. And that same again, that's why I like blogs so much, because you can post that same link to every platform in different ways and it drive more content. I know Lauren mentioned to me last week that one of the blogs we did that I got information from the A&M Real Estate Center on Q1 land. How many views did it have? I want to say you said like 1,200 or something
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
it was like 1,200 or 1,500, something like that.
Yeah, so people are definitely searching for information. They're searching for kind of help and answers. So that's something else just to consider is like, what are people searching? There's a website called Answer the Public. And if you type I've heard about it before. It's kind of a weird little website. Let me share my screen. So Answer the Public, I searched a couple of these the other day because I wanted to see what people are searching for. And Answer the Public tells you what people are searching for. I also think with AI and ChatGPT, you could probably get similar results, but then you know where to focus your business or what blogs to write. So these are the ones I had searched. I don't feel like this is great information though. Like some of them will come back and it's like, this is all full with 30 different lines, but this will just give you different blog topics and it'll give you long tail keywords to embed in your Google page as well. That's not what I wanted. So these are different questions that people ask from like buy a Texas ranch. How much does a rancher get per cow? Is owning a ranch a good investment? And then you can take these questions and make those into blogs, make them into posts. I think you get 5 questions free. Richmond, have you ever used this website before?
That one I have not, no.
It's been around a long time, but I think ChatGPT has pretty much replaced it because it's going to pull all the data from sources and track it for you. So just ask ChatGPT, what are the top 20 searchable phrases around Texas real estate? And that's how you can create some blog topics and post ideas as well. And if y'all haven't, a few months ago, I created a folder in our drive that has some agent content. I'll reshare that link. It's on, the QR code is on every weekly update that I send out. So if you need content ideas, there's folders. I know I saw some of you guys shared out the blog that I shared last week. You're welcome to edit it, change a picture, whatever. It's just to help kind of incubate some ideas on things to post about. And that was on the Fed rate cuts and kind of the misinformation that's directly tied to interest rates. So that's kind of what I have. So I'm going to send a little checklist out, a little digital audit checklist, just to make sure that you have a presence on all the platforms, and then they all have like the appropriate email addresses, your correct website. Some of you guys have vanity URLs that overlay your Bold Trail website, and that might have happened after you joined the brokerage. So we need to make sure that all your website links, all your URLs are all accurate and up to date. We wouldn't hate somebody to try to call you or email you and it bounced back. If y'all have any questions, just give me a shout. We'd love to schedule time and get to working on your digital footprint. Go find people on LinkedIn.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Lisa.
All right, y'all have a great day.